All right, we're back on this. It's the Thermador, but this is actually the Quest 405 or 506. If it'll focus here. Come on, focus. Okay, Apple doesn't want to focus today. Quest 506. We had the broken line from vibration that was touching against the metal line here, and it literally vibrated through and cut the line. Took out the power head, so the system's discharged. It's been on the vacuum pump overnight, so I've had this on the vacuum pump overnight. No fancy cord or line. I have the big blue hose right here, but I don't have that connected because we came out of a known good system. There's nothing wrong with the system other than that, so I don't need no gauges. I don't need to test no pressure, nothing. It was working good prior to the capillary tube getting cut, and we have to swap over the new sensing bulb into the same location. But what I'm going to demonstrate is charging the system up with one single hose. So let's turn it off. So we're going to turn it off. It's been overnight. I don't even have to measure. I already know it's probably around 50 microns with it on overnight with this. I've done this too many times, so I don't even need to use gauges. I don't even have to use the micron gauge because I'm coming off of a known good system. So we'll disconnect this. We're just gonna do this as simply as possible. This takes 4.5 pounds. Let's see if I could get it to, there it goes. So if you could read that, 73 ounces, 72 ounces, 4.5 pounds. Try to do this all one-handed without putting down the hose. We got the scale right there. It's gonna go in by weight only. I'm gonna crack it right here so I could bleed some refrigerant through. You hear that? Okay, that's it. Just a little bit of vapor. The hose is definitely dry. Even though I opened it to that moment to the atmosphere, it's definitely a dry hose being on the vacuum pump overnight. When I came in earlier this morning, I changed the oil to fresh oil while I went away and did some other task for another hour or two, just because I had other things to do. This wasn't the highest priority. So there's no doubt in my mind of how dry and how moisture free, how refrigerant is completely drained out of the system. And it was kept very simple, down to one hose, one connection, one ball valve. You don't get any simpler than this. I mean, you have one transformer, one contactor. Everything is really simply switched. This is as simple can get, other than if they just totally annihilated anything with IC circuits or anything like that and even made it more, you can say, analog. So I'm letting this stable out right now because I just moved it so it's swashing around in here. Let's look at the plate. I have it set on grams because I always use grams, but since this is weighed off in pounds, let's make this simple for all the people in the minority of the world who use the American standard. So let's go over to this archaic units of measurements to pounds. You see it says 17.5 pounds. Well, we want 4.5 pounds for this setup. So we're in the pounds. I'm going to zero it out. So we want 4.5 pounds. Now for you guys in automotive, what you don't know and you can't see here is that there's an evaporator coil, or not an evaporator, well, there's an evaporator coil. There's several coils here. If you can see right here, I don't know if you can see that through there, but there's a coil here, there's a coil here, there's a coil here, there's a coil here. There's several coils, and they're all stacked after each other. And in automotive, this is the equivalent of having a evaporator core, and the air goes through the blower motor, goes through the evaporator core. It gets cooled down, chilled, and then water droplets form on the evaporator and they fall out through your drain down below. So now you have cold, dry air. Then it goes to a heater core, but in this case, there's no glycol. It's reheated. It's the condenser that would normally be in the front of the car. They moved it in front of the evaporator, and you reheat that cold air and now you have hot, dry air coming out the other side, and you just dehumidified the air. Automobile does the same thing when you do it in defrost. So let's take a look at this. We want 4.5 pounds. Here's my ball valve. Here's one single hose. Really simple. 1, 2, 3, go. So we're gonna go 4.5 pounds. There's 1 pound. There's 2 pounds, and I hear electricity. There's a little electrical shock. There's another electrical shock. You hear that snap? Four pounds. Okay, I just shut it off. I shut it too soon. On, off, on, off. There we go, 4.5 pounds. That's all it takes. I don't care if I have 4.5 pounds or I need 12 pounds. Usually get it done within 60 seconds or so. Really simple. Every job goes that. If you do a good job at your vacuum, and if you have all the ambient conditions and all the gas laws in your favor, every job fills up that easy and that fast. Even 100 pounds. See you guys later. Super simple.